Consider for a moment that the most nutrient-dense package in the natural world is not a superfood powder, not an expensive supplement, not an exotic berry flown in from the other side of the planet. It is a seed. A single seed contains within its microscopic structure every biological instruction and every nutritional compound necessary to generate an entire plant. The complete biological blueprint of life, compressed into something you can hold between two fingers. That concentration of biological material is not coincidental. It is the result of millions of years of evolutionary engineering, and the kidneys, which are themselves among the most biologically sophisticated organs in the human body, respond to it in ways that are increasingly well documented in the nutritional science literature. The kidneys filter approximately 200 liters of blood every single day. They regulate the concentration of dozens of minerals and compounds in the bloodstream simultaneously. They produce hormones that control blood pressure and stimulate red blood cell production. They maintain the acid-base balance that every other organ system depends on. The demands placed on this pair of organs, each roughly the size of a fist, situated in the back of the abdomen, are extraordinary. And the nutritional environment in which those demands are met determines, over years and decades, whether kidney function remains strong or begins the gradual decline that most people do not notice until it has already progressed significantly. Seeds, when the right varieties are selected and consumed correctly, provide a specific combination of fiber, essential fatty acids, antioxidant compounds, and trace minerals that address several of the key biological vulnerabilities that kidney tissue faces. They reduce the inflammatory burden on filtration membranes. They support the blood pressure regulation that prevents pressure-induced glomerular damage. They improve the intestinal conditions that determine how many uremic toxins are produced before they even reach the kidneys. And they provide antioxidant protection for the kidney cells that are constantly exposed to the oxidative stress of high-volume filtration. Four seeds emerge from both traditional nutritional practice and contemporary renal nutrition research as particularly relevant to kidney health. Each one works through specific mechanisms. Each one has preparation requirements that determine whether those mechanisms can actually operate. And each one has contraindications that matter, circumstances in which the seed that helps most people might harm specific individuals. Understanding all of those dimensions is what transforms a list of foods into genuinely actionable nutritional knowledge. The first seed is flaxseed, and it is the one that most consistently appears in renal nutrition guidance for reasons that become clear once the biochemistry is properly understood. Flaxseed is among the most concentrated plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, the omega-3 fatty acid that serves as the precursor to the longer-chain omega-3s that drive the body's anti-inflammatory signaling pathways. The relevance to kidney health is direct and well documented. Chronic inflammation in the glomerular capillaries, the microscopic filtration units that are the functional heart of each kidney, is the common downstream mechanism of nearly every form of progressive kidney disease. Whether the initiating cause is hypertension, diabetes, infection, or autoimmune activity, the tissue damage that reduces filtration capacity over time is driven by inflammatory processes that omega-3 fatty acids specifically interrupt. They suppress the production of pro-inflammatory prostaglandins, reduce cytokine signaling in endothelial tissue, and improve the flexibility of red blood cells in a way that improves microvascular circulation, including in the small vessels that supply the glomeruli with the blood pressure they need to filter. The fiber content of flaxseed is equally important, and it operates through a mechanism that is less obvious but equally consequential for kidney health. The gut microbiome, the community of bacteria that inhabits the large intestine, ferments fiber and produces short-chain fatty acids as a byproduct of that fermentation. Those short-chain fatty acids have anti-inflammatory effects that extend systemically, but more directly relevant to the kidneys. The composition of the gut microbiome determines the production rate of uremic toxins, compounds like indoxyl sulfate and p-cresol sulfate that are synthesized by intestinal bacteria from protein fermentation and that accumulate in the bloodstream when the kidneys cannot clear them efficiently. A microbiome supported by adequate fiber produces fewer of these toxins, which reduces the filtration burden on kidneys that are already under stress. Flaxseed's high fiber content feeds the microbiome in ways that shift its activity toward less uremic toxin production. The third major category of active compounds in flaxseed is the lignans, a class of polyphenol antioxidants found in higher concentration in flaxseed than in virtually any other food source. Lignans reduce oxidative stress in tissue, and kidney tissue is specifically vulnerable to oxidative stress because of the volume of blood processing the kidneys perform and the chemical complexity of the filtration reactions involved. The antioxidant protection that lignans provide to kidney cell membranes is complementary to the anti-inflammatory protection that the omega-3 fatty acids provide to kidney vasculature. The two mechanisms work in parallel to reduce different dimensions of the kidney damage process. The critical preparation detail with flaxseed is one that cannot be emphasized enough. The seed must be ground before consumption to provide any of these benefits. The outer shell of whole flaxseed is physically resistant to human digestive enzymes. Whole flax seeds pass through the intestinal tract largely intact, and the compounds within them pass with them without entering the circulation. Ground flaxseed milled to a fine or medium texture presents the same compounds to the digestive surface where they can be absorbed. 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily is the quantity that the research supports as effective and safe for most people. Because flaxseed absorbs water during digestion, adequate hydration is essential. Inadequate fluid intake when consuming flaxseed can lead to constipation that paradoxically increases the toxin burden on the body rather than reducing it. For people who are prone to kidney stones, flaxseed is a relatively safe choice compared to many other seeds because its oxalate content is lower than alternatives like sesame. This makes it appropriate in contexts where other seeds would require more caution or restriction. The second seed is chia, and while it shares some properties with flaxseed, it has a distinct nutritional profile and different preparation requirements that make it independently valuable rather than simply redundant. Chia seeds are among the highest fiber foods in the human diet by weight. A single tablespoon provides a substantial contribution toward the daily fiber intake that supports gut microbiome health, and through the mechanisms described above, reduces uremic toxin production in the intestinal environment. The fiber in chia seeds is predominantly soluble. It forms a gel in the presence of water that slows gastric emptying, moderates blood glucose release from carbohydrates consumed in the same meal, and creates the viscous intestinal environment in which beneficial microbiome species thrive. The blood glucose moderation effect is specifically relevant to kidney health because the glomerular capillaries are vulnerable to the glycation, the chemical attachment of glucose molecules to protein structures that occurs when blood sugar remains elevated after meals. Repeated glycation of glomerular basement membranes progressively thickens and stiffens them, reducing filtration efficiency in a pattern that clinically resembles early diabetic nephropathy, regardless of whether the person has a diabetes diagnosis. Chia seeds also provide omega-3 fatty acids in the form of alpha-linolenic acid, giving them the same anti-inflammatory vascular benefit that flaxseed provides. The polyphenol antioxidants in chia seeds add a layer of oxidative stress protection for kidney cell membranes, and chia provides magnesium, a mineral that is important for blood pressure regulation through its effects on vascular smooth muscle tone and its role in the activity of the sodium-potassium ATPase pump that controls fluid movement across cell membranes. Adequate magnesium supports the blood pressure stability that prevents the pressure-induced mechanical damage to glomerular capillaries that is one of the most common drivers of progressive kidney function loss. The preparation requirement for chia seeds is different from flaxseed in an important respect. Unlike flaxseed, chia seeds do not require grinding. Their surface structure allows digestive enzymes to access the interior compounds without the mechanical disruption that flaxseed requires. However, chia seeds must be hydrated before or during consumption. The same property that makes chia seeds nutritionally interesting, their extraordinary ability to absorb water. Forming a gel at many times their dry volume makes them potentially dangerous if consumed dry in quantity. Dry chia seeds consumed without adequate liquid can absorb water from the digestive tract itself, potentially causing obstruction in people with motility issues and certainly causing dehydration that puts the kidneys in exactly the compromised operating environment that kidney-supportive eating is supposed to prevent. Soaking chia seeds in water for a minimum of 15 minutes before consuming them until they have formed the characteristic gel eliminates this risk completely. Adding them to foods that already contain significant moisture, like yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothies, accomplishes the same result. A tablespoon of pre-soaked chia seeds daily provides the kidney benefits without any of the preparation-related risks. The phosphorus and potassium content of chia seeds warrants attention for people with advanced chronic kidney disease. While these minerals are present in amounts that most people with healthy or mildly reduced kidney function can manage without difficulty, people in later stages of kidney disease who are managing mineral levels under medical supervision should treat chia seed consumption as a dietary variable to discuss with their care team rather than a freely available supplement. The third seed is pumpkin seed, and it earns its place on this list through a specific combination of micronutrients that address aspects of kidney protection that the first two seeds do not fully cover. Pumpkin seeds are exceptional sources of zinc, one of the most concentrated plant-based sources of this mineral available in the food supply. Zinc plays roles in kidney health that are underappreciated in most nutritional discussions. It is a cofactor for numerous antioxidant enzymes, including superoxide dismutase, which neutralizes one of the most reactive and damaging categories of free radicals generated during the kidney's filtration work. It is essential for tissue repair. The regeneration of tubular cells that have been damaged by ischemia, toxin exposure, or inflammatory insult requires zinc-dependent protein synthesis, and zinc supports the integrity of the tight junctions between cells throughout the nephron, which are the structures that prevent inappropriate movement of substances across the filtration barrier. Zinc deficiency, which is surprisingly common in people with kidney disease, partly because the kidneys play a role in zinc handling, is associated with accelerated kidney function loss and impaired tissue repair capacity. Pumpkin seeds also provide magnesium in concentrations that exceed most other seed and nut sources. As noted in the discussion of chia seeds, magnesium supports blood pressure regulation, but it has an additional kidney-specific benefit that is worth understanding in its own right. Magnesium inhibits the formation of calcium oxalate crystals in the urinary environment by complexing with oxalate and preventing the mineral interactions that would otherwise lead to crystal nucleation. Regular dietary magnesium intake is associated in epidemiological research with reduced kidney stone incidence, and this protective effect operates independently of the blood pressure benefit. For people managing kidney stone risk alongside general kidney health, pumpkin seeds address both concerns simultaneously. The antioxidant profile of pumpkin seeds, which includes vitamin E in multiple forms, carotenoids, and phenolic compounds, provides cellular protection for the nephrons, the functional units within the kidney where filtration occurs. The nephrons are not replaceable. The human body is born with a fixed number and does not generate new ones. When nephron cells are damaged beyond recovery, that capacity is permanently lost. Antioxidant protection that reduces the rate of permanent nephron damage is one of the most important things nutritional support can provide for long-term kidney function. The qualification that applies to pumpkin seeds is their phosphorus and potassium content, which is higher than for flaxseed or chia, and which requires specific attention for people with reduced kidney function. A small amount used as a topping, a tablespoon scattered over a salad or a meal, provides zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants without delivering a significant mineral load. A large handful consumed as a snack represents a very different phosphorus and potassium challenge. The distinction between pumpkin seeds as a garnish and pumpkin seeds as a snack food is the line between kidney-supportive and kidney-stressful use of this ingredient. Sodium content is a separate practical concern. Commercial pumpkin seeds are frequently heavily salted, and the sodium in salted pumpkin seeds can substantially elevate blood pressure in a way that directly counteracts the magnesium's blood pressure lowering effect. Raw or dry roasted unsalted pumpkin seeds are the only form that delivers the kidney benefits without this counterproductive addition. The fourth seed is sesame, and it requires the most nuanced presentation of any of the four because its relationship with kidney health is genuinely complex, clearly beneficial for some people and clearly contraindicated for others. Sesame seeds contain two specific antioxidant compounds, sesamin and sesamolan, that are not found in significant amounts in any other commonly consumed food. These lignans have been studied for their effects on oxidative stress in organ tissue, and the research suggests that they reduce lipid peroxidation, the oxidative degradation of cell membrane fatty acids that progressively damages cell integrity and function, in a manner that benefits both hepatic and renal tissue. The anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity of sesamin specifically has been examined in the context of kidney injury in animal studies, where it has shown protective effects against several chemical models of acute kidney damage. The mechanisms involve both direct antioxidant activity and suppression of inflammatory signaling pathways in renal tissue. Beyond these unique compounds, sesame seeds provide calcium, iron, B vitamins, and a complete amino acid profile that is unusual for a plant-based seed source. The healthy fat composition of sesame seeds, predominantly polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, contributes to the cardiovascular health that kidney function depends on. Reduced arterial stiffness, improved endothelial function, and lower LDL cholesterol levels are all associated with regular consumption of foods rich in these fat types. And the kidney's vascular dependency means that cardiovascular improvements translate directly into improved renal perfusion. However, sesame seeds have the highest oxalate content of any seed commonly used in nutrition. Oxalate is a compound that, when present in high concentrations in the urine, combines with calcium to form the crystals that constitute the most common variety of kidney stones. For a person with healthy kidneys who is not prone to stone formation, dietary oxalate from sesame seeds is managed without difficulty. The kidneys excrete it, the intestinal environment regulates its absorption, and no accumulation occurs. For a person with a documented history of calcium oxalate stones, sesame seeds can meaningfully increase stone formation risk and are typically listed as foods to limit or avoid in stone prevention dietary guidance. The phosphorus and potassium content of sesame seeds is also elevated relative to flaxseed and chia, which means that the population of people with significantly reduced kidney function for whom sesame seeds might seem appealing for their antioxidant benefits is precisely the population for whom those minerals present the most risk. 1 to 2 tablespoons as part of a varied diet is appropriate for people with healthy kidney function. For people managing chronic kidney disease at any stage, sesame seed consumption is a decision that should be made in consultation with a renal dietitian who can contextualize the quantity within the overall dietary pattern and current mineral management requirements. Pairing sesame seeds with calcium-rich foods when they are consumed is a practical strategy that reduces the oxalate risk. Calcium consumed in the same meal binds oxalate in the intestine, preventing its absorption into the bloodstream and its subsequent excretion through the kidneys where it would otherwise contribute to crystal formation. This does not eliminate the concern for confirmed stone formers, but it reduces it meaningfully for people in the general population who want to include sesame seeds in their diet with appropriate care. The thread connecting all four of these seeds is the same thread that runs through every effective nutritional strategy for kidney health: specificity of mechanism, precision of preparation, and honest recognition of contraindications. Flaxseed's ground form delivers omega-3s, lignans, and microbiome-supporting fiber that reduce inflammation and uremic toxin production. Chia's hydrated form provides soluble fiber for blood glucose moderation, anti-inflammatory fatty acids, and magnesium for blood pressure support. Pumpkin seeds contribute zinc for tissue repair and enzyme function, magnesium for stone prevention and pressure regulation, and antioxidants for nephron protection in small, unsalted portions. Sesame seeds provide unique antioxidant compounds and cardiovascular support for people without stone history or advanced mineral management requirements in modest quantities paired with calcium-containing foods. None of these seeds is a cure. None operates in isolation from the broader pattern of what a person eats, how well their blood pressure is controlled, how consistently they stay hydrated, and what medical support they are receiving. What seeds provide is a specific, food-based contribution to the biological conditions that allow kidney function to be maintained and, where damage has occurred, to create the least hostile environment possible for the repair processes that the body is constantly attempting. Small, consistent, correctly prepared contributions added to a thoughtfully constructed dietary pattern accumulate over months and years into measurable differences in kidney health trajectory. The seeds are small, their effects, sustained across time, are not.